but yeah, I really like the look of it, and it's it's quite eye-opening to see Stripe Connect, because that's not something I've delved into before. I didn't realize that kind of existed as a whole sort of ecosystem of, very interesting.
Yeah, me too. Actually, when you, as a plugin developer, you register a paid plugin, a commercial plugin, you need to connect the Stripe account, because they are sending the payments through Stripe, to Stripe Connect also. So I believe they are using CrossCommerce, but in a very, Pixeltron is using CrossCommerce, but in a very, how do you say, custom way, because the code is available in GitHub, actually, the CrossNet, the store. So it's very interesting. I started learning about Stripe Connect because the CrossCommerce, the plugin store, and a lot of users start asking the Stripe Connect feature in Stripe payments. So it was a great opportunity to learn about this great product from Stripe, and I really feel like it's very easy to use. And there is a lot of possibility. A lot of chance to create things using this, because you don't need to worry about the product. You need to worry about just the platform, and allow other people to just offer their products online in your platform.
Sure. Yeah. Has anyone got any questions that they want to fire at Andre? Okay, that sounds like a no. Or right.
There are a couple of us that have added some questions to chat. I'll start since mine's up at the top. Andre, that's I'm really impressed with what you've made possible with that Connect. That's really cool. I'm asking. So my question is about taxes and duties and stuff, and I'm asking from firsthand experience. We did a marketplace site powered by Commerce One and Craft 2 a number of years ago, and it was the complexity was so great that in the end we backed out of using Stripe Connect, and the client, granted the site is not particularly high traffic, so she can do all this manual work, but all of the shipping calculations and duties calculations, like every time she brought on a vendor from a different country, it required a whole set of got to learn the tax codes for that country now. So I'm just wondering how much you've kind of tried to cover with Connect in terms of those sorts of things.
Yeah, I think when you are, I feel like when you're sending money, for example, because you need to have money in your Stripe account when you send the transfer, right? So in this case, we are imagining that, for example, the CrossCommerce has the Stripe plugin installed, and they are processing the payments via Stripe. So this will allow to have always money in their Stripe account, because I had this scenario where I was trying to send money US dollar to I believe was a pound account, so it throws in an error. So this is not, it doesn't make any sense for the shipping, the thing that you were asking about taxes and shipping, but I think that for each country, you need to have you need to try to specify the country, the shipping codes or everything in the same country or in the same area that you are trying to create the commerce website. I feel like in Stripe they are doing a great job to handle the taxes, for example. Basically, what I hear from there that they are trying to create online. They are trying to create online checkout where you can add products basically used in the cloud. What I hear from there is that is kind of the plan that they have for the future. But right now that is currently as you said before, I don't think there is an easy way to handle the taxes and the shipping, and that all this kind of. But I understand that also CrossCommerce is doing a great job in this for this scenario where you need to handle, taxes from different countries. But I haven't worked how can I say? I haven't worked with a Stripe Connect from different countries yet. So the company I was helping, actually the reason why we create this feature is basically processing the payment very locally in their same country. So, but I feel like with CrossCommerce is doing a great job related with taxes and the shipping. And at the end, as I just see in the example, we only listen when the order is complete, and we set the product. We send the commission. In this case, maybe it's going to be, maybe you might need to listen for the event before we send the transaction, and maybe discount anything that you need to discount to the final amount that you need to send to that vendor, maybe in that scenario. But as you say, yeah, it's a complex scenario but I haven't worked with a multiple example like you said before, from different countries.
Cool. Yeah, it's not a one size fits all sort of situation. So
yeah, that's one of the worst things of the commerce, the taxes and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's the worst.
The questions are in the. Michael, I'm reading the question from Justin. Do you want me to read or?
Michael, I think you're muted.
No. Oh yeah.
Apologies. So I am. Justin had a question in the chat. So he was saying, I recently had a client using Stripe on commerce managing subscriptions, asked to have the payment type of the transaction included in the email that is sent to them. As an admin, when transactions happen, it didn't look like the payment info was available in the email for the payment type, as in Visa, MasterCard, etc. You know if this is coming in an upcoming update? I think that's probably not kind of specific to your plugin exactly. That's more a common question. But
yeah,
put you on the spot.
Yeah, that's
mine's kind of an edge case there, but the email definitely was coming from Stripe Connect.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's using Stripe Connect to process the payment, and then Stripe sends a transactional email to the manager of the craft site with, hey, you've got a new subscription. Here's the details, and it literally includes everything about the transaction except for the type of card that they're paying with, or if they've paid with whatever else they can connect Stripe with, and manage for like a day everywhere I could think of to try to edit the email template and include some, variables and stuff in it, and I never could get it. It would just render empty each time. I think I even put a GitHub issue in, and someone suggested to try something, and it didn't work. So,
and do you have something like the token from Stripe, for example, the payment token, the invoice token, or something like that?
Yeah, and I'm hitting that token, and I'm able to get here's the date and the amount and what time it was processed and everything. It just does not include that specific information. Like, okay, they actually used a Visa or a MasterCard. Total edge case. I was like, you really need to know that? You can just log into Stripe and see it in the dashboard of the transaction. And they're like, no, I have to have it in my email. And I was like, okay, well, we'll have to leave that for another time. But I figured this was a good opportunity to ask if you are familiar with that, or if you knew that was going to be added to that token.
Yeah, for me, if you have the invoice token, you might need to call the Stripe and get the customer and then when you have the customer, you will have access to the card, the primary card, the permanent payment method that the customer have.
Okay.
So it's basically making API requests to Stripe, because the card's information, they only return the phone number. They don't return the card number itself. They only return the last four numbers and the four last digits. So basically, you are going to need to, if you have the invoice token in the database, you need to make like two queries to the Stripe API, where you need to get the customer, and then from the customer you need to get the payment methods from the customer, and you will have the Stripe card. I mean, the card details. Yeah, that's it. The only thing. Yeah, the Visa or MasterCard is the type.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it sounds like you need to make like a custom plugin or something.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay. Any other questions? All done.